Hello, it's Tom, editor of the Popcorn Muncher, and welcome for the first time in a few weeks, apologies there, to the Popcorn Muncher YouTube channel. Now this week I would like to talk to you about British cinema. This year has been a tremendous one for UK movies. Clio Barnard's Dark River and Michael Pearce's Beast are up there among the best movies of the year so far. They're joined this week by two movies I want to talk about. There's the Jehovah's Witness drama Apostasy, which is in cinemas right now, and Paddy Considine's genuinely terrific boxing movie Journeyman, which is out on DVD and Blu-ray from this Monday, the 30th of July. All four of the movies I just mentioned are excellent films that deserve to be seen by everyone. However, it's possible you haven't seen any of them, and perhaps some of them you won't even have heard about. Apostasy is a great exploration of the world of Jehovah's Witnesses. It focuses on one family which is torn apart when one of them is ostracised from the faith. Another suffers from a medical condition that rubs up against the key witness belief regarding blood transfusions. It's an understated movie about the inner turmoil of characters who are dealing with the strict rules of faith in a modern world that doesn't always allow for that. It's not an easy sell for an audience that's used to a diet of endless Marvel movies and tedious Hollywood comedies packed with dick jokes and unnecessary James Corden cameos. The same problem was true of Journeyman. Now, a boxing film is usually a pretty comfortable sell for most studios, and films like Creed and Bleed for this have done reasonably well in recent years. However, Journeyman is considerably different. It's more of an intimate drama about masculinity, love, and family than it is a boxing movie. In fact, all of the in-ring action is done within the first 10 minutes. The movie is tremendous, and Considine's central performance is one of the best of the year. But the film made very little money at the box office. Considine himself told The Independent that he felt Journeyman was a forgotten film that had not received the warm response he got for his first movie, Tyrannosaur. In short, in Britain, we're terrible at promoting our own homegrown movies. Our multiplex space is constantly given over to big Hollywood blockbusters, and probably 40 weeks out of every year, you can walk into your local chain cinema and not find a single movie that was made on these shores, other than when we occasionally wheel out the James Bond franchise on its Zimmer frame every couple of years. Given the astonishing quality of films like Apostasy and Journeyman, we need to do a better job of supporting our own movies. Now, for a brief while, the Odeon cinema chain was a shining example in this regard. They had an initiative called Back British Film, where they gave extra points to their loyalty card customers for going to see movies that were marked as British. But with the decline of that loyalty card in favour of the new Limitless scheme, the Back British Film campaign has gone the way of the dodo. Now, some praise on this front has to go to Curzon Artificial Eye, the distributors behind Apostasy. For a long time, they have been releasing their movies simultaneously in cinemas and online through their VOD platform, Curzon Home Cinema. It's a less dramatic version of the TV cinema DVD VOD simultaneous release that a field in England had a few years back. Curzon films don't get a particularly wide cinema release outside of their own specific cinemas, but they are available to a considerably larger audience online. Apostasy is currently streaming through Curzon Home Cinema for just a tenner, which is a great deal cheaper than the average ticket at the sort of boutique cinemas that show the movie. And you don't have to brave a journey into central London to see it. In this weather, you kind of take your life into your hands every time you go on the Central Line. These simultaneous releases are certainly a potential answer to the problem with British film, and they definitely help to get them out to more people. However, movies are made to be seen in the cinema, and British movies are no different. There simply has to be more of an effort to get these movies in front of audiences on the big screen. Now, one solution would be to adopt a formalised quota system. The UK, in fact, had one for a lot of the 20th century as a result of the Cinematograph Films Act 1927. Although this did lead to more British films in cinemas, there was also a selection of pretty poor, cheap movies known as quota quickies that were produced solely to satisfy the need for numbers. So it's not all plain sailing. The Del Boys of Britain will always find the easiest way out. China currently has a cap on how many foreign films can be shown in its cinemas to ensure that around 60% of the box office in China comes from its own films. That's obviously a pretty drastic cap, and the British film industry doesn't have even a fraction of the deep pockets that the Chinese industry does. However, something similar could be worth looking into. A more simple and less drastic answer, though, would be for each multiplex that's got more than, say, 4 or 5 screens to dedicate one of those screens to showing just homegrown British movies. That way, there's always at least one British film playing in every major multiplex. You could have a discounted rate or a special loyalty card rewarding customers who choose these movies over the junk food so often provided by America. Now, if there's one thing British people love, it's a loyalty card and a bargain. It's certainly true, though, that this risks these movies being seen as somehow cheaper and inferior to the big American blockbusters. However, at this point, we have to just say that it's better than them not being seen at all. British cinema is great, so we need to get better at protecting it. Now, with that said, make sure you go see Apostasy, whether it's in the cinemas or via the Curzon Home Cinema VOD service, and also pick up your copy of Journeyman on Monday. For a chance to win a copy of Journeyman through the Popcorn Muncher, head down to the description of this video where I'll put all of the social links you need to enter the competition to win one of the 3 copies I've got to give away. I promise you the film is well worth your time.
We got married here. Do you remember?
Hmm?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
You don't, do you?
And I want you.
Where are you, my baby?
Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you have any ideas for how British cinema can become bigger and for how we can protect our own industry more in our multiplexes? Let me know in the comments section. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, head over to thepopcornmuncher.com for film reviews, film news, and the weekly podcast. And also head down to the description below where I'll put all of our social media links so you can keep an eye on what the Popcorn Muncher is doing. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.